unofficially about a 1. If my math is good, Alex, this is a guesstimate on my part. I'd say 150.7 on the anchor, which is fantastic, being tired and on a flat track.
Now the 4x800 on the women's side. First they'll present the awards to the finishers, the top 6 on the men's side. Princeton, even though they weren't having a great relay, still were able to manage a point there by taking the 6th and final scoring spot.
So that was 150.7 for Marshall. I've got Sauer at 150 flat exactly on my watch. So really, really gutsy run by him, and hopefully outdoors. It'd be great to see those guys battle fresh in an open 800.
And Penn closing out on 100 points. Here are the updated team scores. Princeton 167, Penn 96, Brown 84, Dartmouth 67, Cornell in 5th with 48, Yale with 46 is in 6th, Harvard in 7th, thanks to that relay victory putting just about to start.
So that would mean, because the field events are in, so it's official now. What a great day for Penn. They are going to definitely finish second ahead of Brown, because Brown's 12 points behind with only 10 points remaining.
Women get ready, and we are off in the 4x800 on the women's side, and here they are for Dartmouth. First leg, Claire Doherty. Annalisa Crow, the sophomore, will be the second. Grace Thompson will run the third leg, and the anchor will be Alexa Jennings. Brown, Alexis Van Pernis will be the first. Bailey Pate for the Bears will run the second leg. Samantha Valentine the third, and Claire Peabody will anchor for Brown. Cornell has Sarah O'Malley out there. She'll be followed by Christina Welser, who will hand off to Layla Salas, and then Shannon Hugard will run the anchor lap. Princeton Sophie Canteen, who often likes to be in first, is in first right now. Anna Giroux, second leg. Allison Glossinger will run the third, and Jackie Berardo will run the fourth leg. For Yale, it's Megan Quimby, Ariana Lord, Melissa Fairchild, and Kaylee Higgins. Penn has Gina Alm, Michaela Schneider, Nia Akins, and Catherine DeVore. Columbia Mackenzie Supp, Katie Wasserman, Sydney Groom, and Libby Cokes. Harvard, Miranda Sadler, Annika Gompers, Tessa Madrano, and Brooke Starn. And we said it, Sophie Canteen, she likes to get out in front of the pack and stay there, as opposed to trying to come from behind and run that more tactical type of race. She likes to start where she hopes to finish. And she leads right now for the Princeton women, followed by Penn, Cornell, and Dartmouth. And the women's 4x800. Take the advantage. Sarah O'Malley just decided that she was going to accelerate to the front, followed by Dartmouth and then Princeton. Last year, Princeton won. They also won more recently in 2013. It was Brown in 2016, Harvard in 2015, and Dartmouth right here on their home track a few years ago in 2014. And Dartmouth will take the lead as the handoff goes. It's Annalisa Crow getting the baton. Christina Welzer receiving it for Cornell.
2:12 opening leg.
The 4x800, Princeton last year. Berardo, Sims, Giroux, and Hans. The meet record is held by Princeton at 8:41.15. That was a converted time from a 2-mile relay. And the all-time record is that same mark, 8:41.15 on a conversion. Dartmouth in front, that's Annalisa Crow, the sophomore. Cornell's Christina Welzer. Penn is in third place, followed by Princeton.
I know Cornell has a couple of these runners fresh because all they're doing this weekend is running the relay. You know, that's a strategy. If you've got a younger runner or someone who's not really going to make major points in the open event, sometimes it's better to keep them fresh for a relay because even if they get like 5th or 6th, it's only 1 or 2 points. Whereas, you know, if you move up a spot in the relay.
Smith and Cornell, Penn, Brown, Penn, Princeton, Brown, Columbia, Harvard. And it's important for Harvard to come away on top because they had a lot of ground to make up here on Princeton, or excuse me, on Penn, which is trying to win for the first time in 22 years, and it looks like that will be the case.
Yeah, I looked just a minute ago, the triple jump and high jump scores still aren't in, but it would be bizarre. As Cornell goes into the lead with Christina Welzer.
She'll be handing off to Layla Salas, a freshman. Cornell off and running, and there goes Penn on a great transfer. That's Nia Akins, who is trailing right now. Dartmouth falls to 3rd place. Princeton, Yale, Harvard, Columbia. Or Princeton, Brown, Harvard, Columbia, with Yale right now at the back of the pack.
So that was 2:13 on the second leg. So 2:12 for the first, 2:13 for the second, and the top 3 teams are well clear.
Cornell's Leah Salas running, and the others out there for Dartmouth: Grace Thompson, Brown, Samantha Valentine, Allison Glossinger falls pretty significantly. Cornell, then Dartmouth, or Penn, then Dartmouth. Princeton and Brown fighting for 4th place position, and right now it's Brown. Princeton, Columbia, Harvard, and Yale.
If this holds up, you've got to like Cornell's chances because on the anchor, they're going to have a former HEPS champion, Shanna Hugard, last year's winner in the 800, whereas Penn's only going to have Catherine DeVore, who didn't make the final, I think, in the 500, and Dartmouth, Alexa Jennings is on the anchor for Dartmouth, who didn't make the final in 500, and Penn's got DeVore, who didn't make the final in the 1,000.
Penn trying to build up that lead, but Cornell's Leah Salas is not allowing Penn to get too far in front as they go into the final turn before the final transfer.
Yeah, you know, this is the difference between being fresh and being tired. Akins is tired. Cornell runner's fresh, so she can hang on even though she's not quite as good in terms of PRs.
It's DeVore for Penn getting it, and Shannon Hugard, who gave up her chance at winning the 800 for the 2nd straight year to compete in the 1,000, where she finished 2nd to Sarah Hardy, and she's got some ground to make up. As DeVore looking very fresh.
I had it in about 2:10, so really good running, you know, there. But Hugard, you would think would be able to do this, even tired.
A great start, that opening 200 from Catherine DeVore. Really was enough to pull away a little bit and force Hugard into a pretty strong chase position here. After her, it's Dartmouth. And then Brown, Princeton, and Columbia, Harvard, and Yale finishing up this group. Anchor leg of the 4x800. Second to last women's event of the day.
Hugard went out in like 63.6, and you might be able to demoralize her because you're tired. Make her go out really hard and see how badly she wants it. Really, I think she's going to probably end up pulling this off. Hugard is not, the gap is only growing, and there's only just over 200 meters remaining.
Into the bell lap, and that gap has actually grown. It's now closer between second and third than it is first and second. Another maybe disadvantage for Hugard running the 1,000 instead of the 800 is that there's even less time between those events than the 800 in this event. Hugard will try and gut it out here, but DeVore looking great for the Quaker women.
And this is going to be an exclamation point for Penn. This is certainly going to, mean that they're going to win their first women's team title in 22 years.
Catherine DeVore all by her lonesome as she will cross and win it for the Quaker women, putting the icing on the cake in what should be their first Ivy championship here at Indoors since 1996.
What a great showing for the Penn women.
We thought the Quakers would present a really serious threat to Harvard, which was trying to win for the 6th consecutive year. And with these points here in the relay and Harvard not scoring, that'll just about do it. And Penn will be the new champion on the women's side here at Indoors. Hugard didn't have quite enough as she finishes just shy of 2.5 seconds back, and Catherine DeVore went out fast.
Really good
Triumphant running as she finishes.
Really great running by her.